Welcome back to another Film Geek movie review. In just a moment, I am going to walk my happy butt over to the futon to check out the Netflix original K-Pop Demon Hunters. K-Pop Demon Hunters is directed by Chris Applehans and Maggie Kang. It tells the story of a K-pop singing group, three young ladies who are very popular K-pop stars, but are also demon hunters. And this film is the story of how they balance their life of demon hunting and being K-pop superstars. Now, I completely understand. This movie doesn't generally look like something that I would be interested in. I'm not really a K-pop star, and I really don't know much about the K-pop culture or anything like that. But what has me interested in this movie is Maggie Kang, because this is her directorial debut. She came up with the concept, did some writing for the script and all, so I'm really interested in seeing this animated film. And also, too, the animation studio is Sony Imagineworks, which is the same studio that did the Spider-Verse movies. So it does have that same really cool blend of 3D and 2D style that was found in the Spider-Verse, but in this one it has a bit more, I'm just gonna say, anime look to it, which I know I'm not 100% sure if Korean animation has a special name or not, but this has a very anime meets 3D, 2D style like the Spider-Verse, okay? That's just what I'm trying to say. And I think it looks really cool and I'm very intrigued. Also, Kang has said that this film is going to tie in some different things about her Korean culture, demonology of her culture and all. And to be perfectly honest, I am always intrigued by things of that sort. Plus, I know absolutely nothing about K-pop, so maybe this will make me a fan. Who knows? But I do know one thing. My cat Haku, who is an enormous fan of K-pop, is currently waiting for me over at the futon. So it's enough of me sitting here jibber-jabbering on. It is time for me to get over to the futon because I need to watch K-Pop Demon Hunters. Just getting done watching K-Pop Demon Hunters, and guys, I am really surprised at how much I really enjoyed this movie. Going into this film, from what I saw in the trailer, I was expecting a really well animated, fun, action comedy. And I walked away with so much more than that, because I also got a really great soundtrack and a very strong emotional core. So let's get into this, shall we? Now, first off, I would have to say I don't really have any negatives. Normally I say negatives and positives, but this time around I'm just going to say mixed and positives. And in all honesty, the only thing I have to say is the humor in this film just didn't land with me, and maybe it's just my old fuddy-duddy sense of humor. I'm more of a dry, sarcastic sense of humor kind of person. I also enjoy more surrealistic humor, and this movie does really focus on slapsticky, very silly, fast-paced kind of humor, and that's just nothing that's really landed with me ever. And this is a personal thing, this is a personal preference. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that's going to find this movie absolutely hysterical, but for my personal sense of humor, if you're somebody who prefers a drier, more, again, sarcastic-y, surrealistic-y kind of humor, you're not really going to find this here. This is more slapsticky, fast-paced, kind of, that real joke every second kind of humor. It doesn't weigh the film down by any means. It's just something that just didn't set well with me personally, and that's just probably because, again, my old fuddy-duddy sense of humor. So that being said, let's just start showering this film with praise and get into those positives. And the first thing I want to talk about is the music. Now, I will be honest with you guys, I know nothing about K-pop. I don't even think I've listened to an entire song in a K-pop song. I'm sure there's been advertisements or something that's had a K-pop song playing in the background. I honestly had no idea. It just sounded like pop music to me, and that's just me. I don't know anything about it. But the soundtrack to this film was solid. I really enjoyed the music in this movie, and to the best of my knowledge, the musical numbers in this film are 100% original to this movie. Like I said, I don't know anything about K-pop. I could be wrong. This could have been a jukebox musical, but to the best of my knowledge, they were original songs, original arrangements, and they were really good. In fact, if you enjoyed the music in the movie, after the credits, stick around. I think it's more of a mid-credit scene. They do show the voice actors recording the songs, and I thought that was really interesting. So if you're a big fan of the soundtrack to this movie, stick around, watch that. It just kind of pays a little homage to the people that really helped out with the voice acting in this. And that voice acting, it was great. I really enjoyed all of the characters in this film. I thought the voice acting was on point. The animation, of course, Sony has done it again. ImagineWorks has done it again. This movie is outstandingly, beautifully animated. It still has that 2D, 3D look of the Spider-Verse, but it also still has its own unique style and look. This movie does not look like the Spider-Verse movies. It has its own character designs and look to this movie, but it still uses that same 2D, 3D style. It also utilizes the varying frame rate that they used in the Spider-Verse movie, which allows the figures to kind of look a little choppy and all. But what that does is, in fact, in this film, it really helps because it makes these 3D models look even more realistic. And almost in some parts of this movies, the characters almost look like, I could say, maybe fashion dolls, like a Barbie or something, just up there on the screen dancing away. The colors are extremely vibrant. Everything is beautifully made and smooth. I would have to say that this film could have been done in a 2D fashion, and I think it would have been perfectly acceptable if it would have been a hand-drawn 2D style. But by utilizing the fashion of 3D and 2D, it really gave this film its own unique look, which really helped this film a lot. I really enjoyed the character designs in this film. I thought that they were both just really well put together. The women themselves, our main characters, I liked how each one of them had their own unique style that made them stand out, not just visually, but also the characters themselves. These characters are also well pronounced and well developed and all. Our main character of the K-pop group, she's a very complicated character. She's very divided and on basically walking the path of two separate worlds. This film does bring to the surface a lot of different themes. It's not one of those movies that just focuses on one particular thing. There is a lot of things in this. But if there was one theme that I would have to say is it's shame and owning your past mistakes and learning how to move beyond all of the poor decisions that you have made. And maybe some of those decisions weren't poor decisions at the time, but maybe they led to some events that caused you to have some kind of shameful emotions about that. And I thought the movie did an excellent job of saying, hey, you know what? You can have these bad past moments, but you can still move beyond that and be a good, solid human. And I liked that. This film also presents a really solid villain, and not something that I really enjoy a lot, but a good, sympathetic villain that has a good story and also has their own story arc throughout this movie. They're not just this, I am so evil, I must destroy you kind of character. There's so much more depth into the villain of this story. I really enjoyed this movie, guys. I thought this was a solid watch, and it's on Netflix. So I guess if there's one other thing I would have to say is this was another beautifully animated film that really should have been up on the big screen in order to enjoy thoroughly. And I really wish that they would put these movies out in theaters, even if it's just for a little while, for some of us who just love seeing moving art like this up on the big screen. Please, Netflix, do this for us. Put movies like this on the big screen. And that's pretty much all I have to say. Very solid watch, guys. Check this movie out. If you're a Netflix subscriber, go ahead, watch this movie, enjoy it, have fun. This is appropriate, I would say, for 5th grade on up when it comes to kids. Have a good time with the family, pop some popcorn, have a nice little movie night this weekend. Alright guys, well that's all I have for you today. Thanks again for checking out the Film Geek. If you liked what you saw here today, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and give me the old thumbs up so I know you like what you're seeing. And if there's one more thing you can do, folks, that is keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna.